better. So I'm on the mend.
Yeah, which one did you get?
I had the Moderna.
Yeah, that's kind of the story I've heard with people that have gotten their second shot, that the Moderna has seemed to be the one that,
It hits you?
takes, you have a little side effects, nothing major, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you just kind of feel,
More-
and then after a couple days, it's fine.
But that's more than the Pfizer or the. I didn't know that. I thought they were both. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, that's just anecdotal. So, but
Okay.
Yay, I'm getting my first Moderna tomorrow. Woo.
yay, woohoo.
So the only side effects that I've noticed that it makes you lose your hair.
I have a lot of hair. I'm okay with that. But and you both look great. So
Good.
So hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Good to see you both.
Likewise. Likewise.
Jacob is, I'm gonna have to take a sip of water because my voice is hoarse again. That stupid esophageal reflux. So sing to me or say something nice.
Say something nice while you're drinking.
well, I didn't get to. I just saw Michael's email,
Okay.
so that looked nice.
Oh, wait. Mail.
So,
Right.
So
Jacob is probably not going to be able to join us. He's in
Okay.
California still, dealing with some family issues. But I copied both Ann's and Michael's stuff, and I put it onto a Word document, which I can share the screen of. So
Oh,
we
okay.
can do
Okay.
that. And I can give a quick update on what's happening from the medical point of view. As you know, we now have a third vaccine, Johnson and Johnson vaccine, which is a one-shot thing. And I'm very happy to say that here in Washington, and especially in Seattle, we're really doing a good job of getting people vaccinated, which is not uncommon because we do a good job in general about stuff like that. And so I'm very optimistic about things happening and people being vaccinated, et cetera. And so Biden today was talking about getting people vaccinated and having enough vaccine for the population by the end of May, which is much earlier than we've talked about before.
Yep.
So
Yes.
the other thing I'm going to share is a news article I read today from Como about a barbershop group that's meeting in a park and ride garage in person with people in their own cars with the conductor in the middle so that everybody can see her. And I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So
that's
that's
one,
just
one
another
of the,
option.
yeah, one of the links that I sent has a
Has
thing.
that in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm going to share my screen so that you can both talk about your stuff. I may screw up on doing this because I'm not real good about stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I think I can do it.
Let me get some tea in the meantime.
Here we go.
So I can do it too if it helps.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Blessings on you.
Yes, yes. The joys of figuring out Zoom.
Okay, what do you
Oh, there we
see?
go.
You see
Yep.
anything?
Yes, I
Okay,
see.
Michael, let's why don't you talk about some of your stuff first, okay?
Okay, so went back to most of these. Well, the three of them were from people that were doing opera stuff, um, and so I started with our hometown opera, Seattle Opera. Seeing as I used to be a chorister there prior to my knees not cooperating anymore. And so but I still know a lot of people that are active, active in the chorus. So I thought I'd start there. And so with their current production of Don Giovanni, so they're doing Seattle Opera is making a video of the productions. They're staged operas. But they social distance, when they do their staging, and then rehearsals, is kind of the whole, they temperature screen and all that stuff. They were supposed to have a chorus, because the show there is chorus in that show, but I guess as one of the cast members tested positive, so the
Oh,
chorus won't be moving ahead.
Yeah.
Um, and so they don't know. So for the next production, Tosca, which does have chorus, they don't, at this point, there are no plans for chorus in the show. Probably, I'm assuming they might have like some of the principals. I don't know how that's going to work. So, and that, yeah, because actually those chorus scenes are pretty big, the little bit of chorus that's in that. So, so that's where that stands. But it, you know, it sounds like, again, Seattle Opera is doing kind of the standard, you know, sequester, like the soloist sequestering them, you know, testing them, that sort of thing. For Portland Opera,
Actually, can I interrupt for 1 second?
uh-huh.
Did you say they're videoing? So they'll do it live staged, but not with an audience. Is that correct?
Correct. And what they're doing that, it seems a lot of the opera companies are doing that. Like the three, I talked with someone in Portland Opera and then a friend of mine who's doing a show with Chicago Opera Theater. And all three of the companies, what they're doing is they videotape the performance at stage. And then, you know, people have, you know, they can sign up to be able to see the performance for a fee for, you know, like, you know, 72 hours. And so yeah, so yeah, number 2 and number 3, it's the same deal. Number 2, the Portland Opera, the one show that's coming up, rehearsals start, rather than a big chorus, it's limited to 8 people. When they rehearse, you know, they do temperature checks and they have, you know, do you have any symptoms checklist that each person has to answer. They're rehearsing, I guess, in plastic sheeted cubes, which is pretty wild. But then, you know, there again, it'll be staged, distanced. And the same thing for, you know, number 3. Now for Bellevue Pres, their sanctuary choir, they have, you know, their choir normally is 60, 70 people. But what they've been doing is just having a couple people from each section, maybe 3 or 4, like record a video for the service or be there actually at the service. And there, you know, it's like St. James, it's huge. I don't know if anyone's ever been there, but it's huge. So they can stand like 15, 20 feet apart. And what they do is they rehearse, you know, it's a shortened rehearsal time. They rehearse with mask on. When they record without mask. But they're, you know, 15, 20 feet apart. What they do if they want the bigger, I know on some songs, they like for this past, they had like for Christmas, something that they wanted everybody to record. So they sent out like this software where, you know, people made their individual recordings at home and then somebody at the church put them together. So, but yeah, other than that, those, you know, professional groups, you know, the 3, they're, you know, they use pretty strict protocols. And then Bellevue, which I just noticed I have spelled wrong. Oh my God. You know, they're just using a, you know, smaller subset. And, you know, again, because of their rehearsal space, it's almost like singing outside because that church is huge. So, and just really spaced apart. So yeah, that's all I have.
Great, thanks,
Anybody has
Michael.
questions?
Terrific.
Oh,
Yeah, he didn't hear it.
Questions, comments
you got right on it, Michael. Nice work.
from the Ann and Peter dyad? Any questions
Yeah.
or comments?
So do you want to scroll up so that part's on the screen?
I'm going to scroll up to you.
Nice. Okay.
Great.
So I just want to back up for a second and say about Michael's thing. I think it's so interesting, the idea that like companies are still doing productions and thinking people will buy tickets.
Mhm.
Because to be honest, I feel bad about this, but so we did watch this University of British Columbia production of Mansfield Park by Jonathan Dove because we'd never even heard that he wrote this opera and we love Jonathan Dove. So it seemed worth doing. But then San Francisco Opera is doing a whole thing of The Ring. And I thought they're charging quite a bit of money and it's not like the real thing. I will confess, I thought, I wonder if there's a good production of it online. And there is. There's a fantastic one that free that I don't have any time frame, so we could like watch one a month if we wanted. So I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so for the stuff that's on the screen now, the first thing Jack Tripp was told to me by my friend Marcia, who's an administrator for a choir here in the Bay Area. And she said that this Ragazzi Boys Chorus got a lot of attention using this particular tool. However, the second one is the one that I've been hearing more about, which is this Jamulus. I've heard 2 or 3 different people on Facebook say that it works really well for them. And I have linked here, and you might be able to play it, Nick. A recording.
Click on it. Do I click on it maybe?
Click on it. I don't know. It might
It
work.
looks like it.
There's a way that you can share your screen that you can optimize for video, but with this small group, it might work.
Okay.
But it just sounds like it sounds together and live and fine.
I don't know if I can do that.
Okay, let me, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can do it on my phone and have you guys hear. We'll see.
Or on the iPad.
Share sound, maybe?
I think it's up on the iPad too. I got it right here, sweetheart. Junior, you
Okay,
want me to
okay, play it.
I got something.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Does it go
Is
in
it?
your headphone?
I don't know. We'll see.
And is this it?
Okay, well, I can't hear anything. Peter, I think it's going in your hearing aids. Let me-
No, it's not. I can tell you it's not. Because they're
Oh,
on.
okay. Well, it's not playing. Do you have
Well-
the sound up?
Could you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can just, you don't have to play anymore, but that was just 4 people in their houses and it was fine. So, to me, that looks really good. Our experience with our church choir was that they did that thing where they tried to have everybody send in the separate videos and audios. And the poor director said, like he spent 20 hours trying to put together 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just not sustainable. So that's Jamulus. The next one is Jam Kazam. So this was a professional musician who I'm friends with on Facebook, and it's a group in Philadelphia, and they put together like a concert. But
Want me to-
but I don't get, no, Nick probably can play it.
Yeah.
But there's the, I could ask her more about this while capturing our individual high quality audio and video.
You want me to play a little bit of that?
Sure, you can. I don't know what it means, what she means by that, but this is a.
Okay, yeah.
So it sounds fine. And in each one of those, you could see the split screen where it's like 4 different people doing 4 different.
Yeah,
things.
yeah. You know.
So I think those are worth exploring. And then in number 4 here, I haven't read this article yet. So Peter, for the good of the order, he read the article.
Yeah.
And do you want to report back?
Well, BYU Chorus is doing heroic measures to meet live. I think, to summarize it all, they're doing all sorts of stuff to be able to sing together, temperature checking, all that screening, I don't know exactly about sequestering, but I got the impression from reading the article that it was young people there was always a risk. They say they do ventilation, they do cleaning of the air, special air purification in the rehearsal space. But everything I read was the risk has gone down from, let's say, 13% to 2%. But whenever I hear about a risk, I think, I don't know if any of us in Opus 7 are going to want to just play the percentages. I think so. My sense was for young people, BYU students, it worked. But I just was not feeling that that was something that we could apply to Opus 7. It just didn't seem feasible. So it was heroic. I mean, all this stuff they did. And but there's always a risk. And that's what I'm concerned about.
Mhm, mhm.
And then the last link here is the drive-in choirs.
Is that the one I mentioned, Ann?
Yes.
Okay,
There's actually a picture where it's like the conductor and then
Yeah.
ranged around in a half circle are
Yeah,
cars. all
yeah,
pointing.
Mm.
What he did was he got an FM transmitter so that the sound of the group could come through each person's FM radio.
Mm.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works, but yeah. Well, one of the things that I was curious about as I read stuff was that this Jack Tripp advertises that it's a special technology that reduces the audio lag time between transmitting and receiving to 1 millisecond. But I think the other ones, and correct me, the Jamulus and the Jam Kazam did not advertise that they had that special 1 millimeter, what did I say? Millisecond lag time. But they still, as you heard, sounded good. But but they have technology out there. The Jack Tripp says you have to spend like, I think it's $200
That's
a
yeah,
person.
not free. The other
It-
two are free, I think.
Right. So anyway,
Mm, mhm.
you have a special microphone and a special box which
Yes.
transmits it, but it costs about $200 per person to do that.
Now, this is another interesting point, is that this same friend, Marcia, who is the administrator for the choir here in the Bay Area, it's a girls' choir, it's called I Sing, and we watched their Christmas concert. And their Christmas concert was entirely virtual. Well, there were one or two outdoor things where they got the girls together, but mostly it was from everybody's living rooms. And what they did was they paid, and they're rich, they spent a lot of money,
Yeah.
but they sent everybody microphones. Because actually the microphones matter.
Mm,
And
mhm.
so, like
Yeah.
normally, like for our choir things, like we were just like recording into iPads, and you have to have your headphone on to hear the clicks, and people have different headphones and recording into your head. I mean, it's all sorts of different equipment, but having good equipment helps. So
Mhm.
I don't know like what the price point would be for good enough and not like $200 a person kind of thing.
wow, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But
No, that would be too much, but I think like people might pay $25 a person, and people that felt that that was too much others might be willing to subsidize. So I just
Mhm.
wonder if you could find an option like that, but it might be that might be something worth investing in. That's something.
Do we know how much people paid for the Jamulus? You said it's free.
Jamulus is
software,
free
But
software.
did you need your own mic, a special mic, or did
Well, I
they
mean,
just
that's
go
true for
through?
any of them. If you're recording from home,
Mhm.
Well, unless you just record into your iPad, which is.
well, but that has a mic. That's the thing.
But I mean, do you need a high quality mic or not?
Well,
Yeah.
the better the mic, the better.
Right. So I'm just wondering if we were to recommend Jamulus for Opus 7, what would that mean in terms of individual purchasing of mics or just using? We don't
Well,
know.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Is like,
Yeah.
I wonder at what price
Right.
points people
Right.
would be willing to buy better mics.
Right. Right. So anyway,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
to me, the most hopeful thing was listening to some of these two recordings that we just heard. Now that sounds as though that was done with minimal expense or technological, hoops. So it's an open source nonprofit, I think, Jamulus. So
Mhm.
that might be something that we could, and I think Opus 7 would, I mean, if you're safe being at home, but you can get the feeling of ensemble and practice singing to me, that might be a good starting point for us. I'm
You
just,
know,
Anne's
Actually,
notes,
sorry, go ahead.
Ann's notes say that capturing individual high-quality audio and video on our own cameras and computers with JamKazam.
That's what the person, that's what my friend wrote on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
And so I'd have to find out more information about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what just occurred to me is that I feel like I saw a Facebook post from Scott Kovacs. Do you guys know who Scott Kovacs is?
Yes.
who is he?
So I feel like he's been in Opus 7 or connected to Opus 7 since we left.
Hmm.
But I feel like early on he posted something about this on Facebook, and because he's connected with Opus 7, he might be willing to talk to us about it. Like this Jamulus is the one that to me I would probably explore first, and I can ask. I saw it on Facebook, and I can ask the person who posted about it. Who
Okay,
is one of the people in the recording.
okay.
But I don't know him as well, and he's local here. But I could also write to Scott Kovacs and ask him.
Do you know him, Michael?
I don't.
I don't know him.
I know he sang with us recently in a couple
Oh,
but I don't know him that well.
I don't know, yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly see if on Facebook I can, I don't know how well the search works. We will see.
And is an information
So I
specialist.
have a question. So I was thinking, because just given, okay, now we've got the third vaccine,
Yeah.
online. How quickly were we looking to like start doing any kind of singing again in any kind of form?
I think
Because
next fall, right? Is that it?
Yeah, I think we have to think about the fall.
okay, so kind of given that, it seems like the majority of people in the group would be vaccinated by then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
So given that,
Yeah.
what would be,
Yeah. We could get.
I mean, from a medical standpoint, kind of would the issues be the same? How? Because I think is if I'm understanding some of the reports I've heard, because there's been questions about specifically, okay, if I get the vaccine, how does that affect other people? Or,
Right.
The question of if, all my family has the vaccine, can we get
Right.
together and hug?
Right. And there are questions like that that are not completely answered yet.
Okay.
I can comment, I make two comments. One that Ann made last time, and that is that when you think about 95% efficacy, you're still saying 1 in 20 people might be sick and not know it and might
Yeah.
be the virus to transmit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem, okay? And the second part of that, and Joel is going to be looking into this, is what are going to be the local guidelines? Right
Mm-hmm.
now, restaurants are allowed to be 25% capacity. St. James is allowing 200 people per liturgy, but they're spaced out in the pews so that they're physically distanced. So we're going to have to abide by not only state guidelines and CDC guidelines, but by the restrictions of whatever venue we use for rehearsals or anything else. So St. James says, no, we don't want a whole bunch of people coming and singing here, or,
Mm-hmm.
The Presbyterian Church, maybe in Bellevue, maybe they'll let us go there for some, So
Yeah.
those are going to be crucial questions to ask,
Okay.
even though we may all be vaccinated.
Gotcha.
Although there might be people that for whatever medical or personal reason are not vaccinated. So that raises an interesting question.
Right.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
probably wouldn't want to come.
Yeah, but the other thing is that, Michael, you're right that everything that we've talked about today is still sort of assuming no vaccination
You're
yet.
right. You're right. Yes.
And I do think that there's something to be said for us trying out some of these things where people can participate from home.
Mm-hmm.
Partly for mental health and partly because we have to get our singing back up.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm also heartened, of course, the research is very, very spotty right now, but that what I'm hearing is there are initial reports that the transmission of the virus by people who have been fully vaccinated is greatly reduced by the vaccines. Now, I know it's terribly spotty, but
Mhm.
I like your point, Michael, that looking forward to the fall, especially with all these vaccines being rolled out and Biden saying it will have all the vaccine they needed by May 31st, blah, 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 that if the guidelines are relaxed enough, the governmental guidelines, the venue guidelines, et cetera, we may be able to meet in person and just carry on. Of course, there is risk for the loved ones and close partners of those of us members who are vaccinated if there are some people who are not vaccinated, but
Right.
they have to take that risk. And so it may be that if all is good, we'll be able to just get back and boogie. I don't
Mhm.
know. Yeah, yeah, we'll see.
Right. And I think
Okay.
the next few weeks are gonna be decisive in giving us that kind of information.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because, you know, things are, well, we'll see what happens with the continuing downward curve of
yeah,
states like Washington that are doing a good job. We'll
right.
also see what's happening, what's going to happen in Texas and Mississippi that have opened up everything.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
crazy. Yes,
Crazy, just crazy.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens with that.
right.
But and we'll check on that. I do want to give one point of information about, we talked about risk and legal and liability issues.
Yeah.
And so I've got the information about who insures Opus 7. And so I put in a call to them and I've left a message, please call me because I want to discuss this with our insurance company to see if they have any coverage for the kinds of situations we might be running into with people being exposed, not exposed, and running some kind of risk. So I'll report on that next time we get together if I get information back. This is great. This is
Mhm.
amazing.
Yes.
This is really good stuff.
Can
So,
can I interrupt for 1 second? I'm so
Sure.
sorry. But you may have seen me looking like I was looking at my phone, and you are correct. I was looking at my phone because I found the post. So
Good.
here's Scott Kovacs,
okay,
and he posted Performing Arts Hive Mind, so group, everybody out there. What streaming platforms are you using for your online and video performances? And are you integrating monetization directly from the platform, or are you using a separate paywall?
Wow,
And so
Wow.
here's
wow.
so much of, you know, somebody saying Zoom, except of course it's only 1% of the time can sing. Here's Vimeo. I don't know how they're recording.
can you forward that to us, Ann?
I'll try to do like screenshots or something.
Okay,
So here's someone that says check into Jamulus, and someone else says, oh, that only does audio, and that person says no, it does video too.
Well, we've seen the video. Yeah.
And a whole bunch of stuff about, and here's some stuff about pre-recording and not, and multiple locations. Here's something, I recommend the program OBS. What is that? I haven't seen it. It allows you to combine audio and video from multiple sources. Here's, yeah, so it's a sort of a combined post, but I'll pull it off and send that to you so you have it.
okay,
But I just think that we might want to talk, like Lauren or someone representing Opus 7 might want to talk to Scott Kovacs directly because he's connected with Opus 7. So he,
is that KOVAC?
Kovacs, like saying.
Kovacs.
Like Ernie,
Ernie
I think so, yeah.
for those of us who remember Ernie Kovac.
But clearly he's looked into it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'll ask Lauren or Joel or John to contact him, and maybe he would be willing to be a part of our task force.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have an email for him, Ann?
I don't. I'm just friends with him on Facebook.
Okay.
And I mean, I've only met him once. And I think
Well,
it was
maybe I could write
fun.
to him. I'd be happy to write to him if you can forward his Facebook page. Maybe I can do something through Facebook and get him connected with us.
Well, I mean, would you like me to just message him on Facebook and ask if he'd be willing to?
Yeah.
I mean, I can just message him because we're friends, so.
Yeah, okay. And
Okay.
you can send him any of the information and materials that we've already shared together. You know, like what we're doing and why we're doing it and stuff like that. You know, like the original email that I sent to everybody about.
Are you on Facebook, Nick?
I am actually.
Are we friends? I know Michael and I are.
I tend not to make friends with anybody.
Sometimes that's a real good thing.
But see,
Because
if you-
otherwise I just have all these Facebook messages.
I'm the same way, Nick. I'm the same way.
Okay, it's just that if you would friend me, then I can copy you on the.
And she'll
the-
promise not to be too bothersome.
Okay, we'll put a 3-month limit on time on that.
Okay, you can unfriend me.
No, I'm kidding you, of course.
Wait a minute. Okay, it says requested.
Okay, so
Requested.
what do I do?
So you go into Facebook and you'll see that I requested a friendship and then you.
Say yes.
confirm. You say yes.
I'm happy to be your friend anywhere, anyhow.
It is mutual. And so then what I can do is I can send Scott a message with all of us on it.
Good, okay,
Mhm.
all right. That'd be great.
Because I'm friends with Joel, I'm friends with Jake,
Okay,
I'm friends with Peter.
Yay.
Yay.
hey,
Let's hope so. If not, we're in
Not
trouble.
on, not on Facebook. though.
okay, all right. So Joel hasn't joined us and he hasn't emailed me or anything, so I don't see anything from him.
He missed all the good stuff then.
Yeah, I'll keep him posted. And actually, I'm recording our meetings together so that I can use them for notes and stuff like that. I'm not going to make extensive minutes of our meetings, just
No,
notes.
no, we've got it.
Yeah.
Easier. But I will report to the board. Is there anything in particular you want me to say or ask of the board this Sunday? Because the board is meeting every week right now.
I mean, I do think I might consider if one of these online, like Jamulus, seems like it could be a fit for us, consider like 2 or 3 sessions over the summer where we just get together informally and sing shape note songs or something
To warm up our
to
voices.
just get
right.
warmed up and come
Yeah.
back together as a
Yeah.
choir and feel like we're getting ready.
Okay.
That's actually a
Right.
really good idea.
Okay. So in terms of next steps, it sounds, Ann, like you've got your work already cut out for you from what you've told us. So that's great. Michael, what do you want to do more with what you're working on?
Well, I was thinking I might reach out. Okay, I have to think about that.
Okay.
One thing I was thinking about was maybe spending an hour like on either Jamulus or with the Jam Kazam just to see how easy it is, you know, to download and create something.
That would be amazing,
You want to
Michael.
do some singing this weekend?
That could happen.
Wouldn't that be fun? We could just
Yeah,
all 3 of us do hymns or something.
yeah.
Peter can do tenor if
Sure.
I poke him in the butt at the same time.
Sure, yeah. If she pokes me in the right places, I can
Yeah.
sing tenor. Yes, I can sing tenor.
Squeeze hard.
That it might, maybe we could test it.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that would be, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to horn in on your thing, but if you felt like it.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool.
All
I
right.
mean,
I'll leave it up to you.
yeah. Because speaking of which, actually, Ann, I wanted to actually pick your brain on some other career professional things. So,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
All right.
That'll be very.
So let's do that. So Ann, you'll continue to find out about Jamulus and Alakazam or whatever it is.
I think what
Alakazam,
I'll
yes.
do if it's okay is I will do two things. I'll write to Scott for
Right.
the group, and then I'll write to the person that did Jamulus and just hold
Right.
it there for the short run.
Good.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
Nick
It's
Jones.
Nick Jones.
Nick
yeah.
Jones, yes,
Okay.
right.
So Jake may be back. I don't know when with family problems and issues, and I don't know what's up with Joel, but I'll report on Sunday on what we're doing. And I would suggest we give ourselves 2 weeks time and meet in 2 weeks time. So it gives us more time to work on some of this stuff. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Good, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Tuesday at 5 still a good time?
Hold on a
Whoa,
sec.
let's see, let's
You need
see.
to look at your book.
All right.
So
Hold
that
on.
would be the 16th.
Let me see.
That's fine with me.
Hold on.
That'll be the 1 year anniversary of the day that we learned that we were sheltering.
Oh, okay.
So March 17th was the first
Okay,
day
where's
here.
I think that'll work. The that's the 16th. Yeah, that should be fine for me as well.
Okay,
We could do that, 5 o'clock.
we'll do it. Yeah. Good. Terrific. I love you all. You're great people.
You too, Nick.
We'll keep our meetings efficient and keep them running smoothly. And I'll keep reporting to the board as things come along. And I'll report back from them when they find out stuff.
Okay.
All
One of the
right.
questions I'm going to ask is how much money do we have that we might be able to spend on Janulus or whatever?
Right, right.
Mhm.
Microphones.
Or
Yeah.
how much might individual members be willing to fork out on their own? just
Yeah,
to kind of-
yeah.
because,
Yeah.
You know, we all want to, keep our voices up. I don't know how much Opus 7 needs to fork out, for most of us, I think we would want to, chip in for our own stuff unless it's too much money. I don't know how much it would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, the question is whether or not the microphones we have, like in an iMac or on an iPhone, an Apple iPhone, are good enough too. So
We don't
Yeah.
have to-
they may be good enough for some
Mhm.
of these, and that's
You
something.
know what? I'll ask my friend Marcia about that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you all
stay safe.
Bye.
Yeah, stay safe. Get vaccinated as soon as you can.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
All right,
Yeah. All right.
bye.
Bye.